We've all seen our fair share of paranormal clips, but not like this.
And speaking of strange, that's the theme for today, from government-confirmed conspiracies to jaw-dropping footage of paranormal encrypted activity. We have got it all. Are people disappearing in plain sight? A bizarre question, I know, but take a look at this clip.
Where the f did he go? Where the f did he just go?
In the clip, we see an individual making his way from the right side of the road to the left. The camera follows him as he moves till he doesn't show up anymore. He moves in front of some vehicles and then disappears as he passes the last. The one filming this uploaded it online asking if anyone had answers. Naturally, most people screamed glitch in the comments section of the original post. Well, alright, they didn't exactly scream because, well, they were typing it, but you get the idea. While this sounded like a simple explanation, not everyone bought it. Some felt he might have dropped something, say a coin, and bent down to pick it up. That sounds plausible, but the one filming should have eventually seen him come out. But he didn't, but at least that's what he said. This to some was solid proof that this was a glitch, while some felt this was proof the uploader was lying. They stated that there were phone apps out there that were capable of cutting, editing, and merging footage in a way that would make the man look like he disappeared. The debate has been fierce, and words have been said that shouldn't have been said amongst peers and comrades in the bid to discover the truth behind this mystery. Could you help by putting things to rest and offer your opinion as well?
Where the f did he go? Where the f did he just go?
Padre cielo que estás en lo nuestro.
So we've shown clips of strange creatures in the cars of individuals several times, and this might just take the cake. This was recorded by an individual who chose to remain anonymous, and it looks like they might be cruising through the countryside or an area with a lot of green. It's hard to say if the fog is due to the camera quality or if it was indeed there, but that's not too important. Everything important concerning this clip happens in the back passenger seat. There's something or someone in there with glowing eyes. If this was recorded very late at night, I'd have immediately said it was due to light reflecting in the person's eyes, but that doesn't appear to be the case here. Once more, the individual is acting weird and erratic. I tried very hard to stop myself from using the word possessed, but, well, that's what it looks like from here. Many in the paranormal community have suggested this man might have been driving behind a haunted car. It's not a reality he wants to accept, but this is the position of the majority of all who saw the clip. It was either that or the whole thing is fake. I want to believe it's true, but what are the repercussions of seeing something like this while driving? Is this a bad omen, like a sign of impending doom, or is there more to this? Personally, I don't know, but you can tell me what you think.
Padre cielo que estás en lo nuestro.
Someone found this strange-looking creature deep in the woods. It looks like a mummified humanoid, but much smaller than a person, almost like a shriveled alien. Its skin was dry and leathery, the limbs unnaturally thin, and the head slightly larger in proportion to its body. The eyes were sunken, the skull oddly shaped, and while it had some human-like features, it wasn't human. Some who've seen the photograph say it looks like those so-called alien mummies uncovered in other parts of the world. Others think it might be an elaborate hoax, but no one really knows what this thing is.
There are a few things you should know before visiting the Devil's Tree. Whatever you do, don't disrespect or harm this tree.
Apart from the infamous Jersey Devil, there's another eerie legend hiding in the woods of New Jersey, and this one doesn't fly. It's called the Devil's Tree.
I personally wouldn't even touch it. The Devil's Tree is cursed.
This tree is said to be cursed, and some believe it's guarded by the devil himself. Over the years, there have been unsettling stories tied to it. People who dared to relieve themselves on the tree reportedly developed cancer not long after. Others who tried to cut it down with their tools would fail, and some even claimed that something stopped them before they could land a single blow. Strange scorch marks and even what appear to be handprints could be seen on its bark, and the ground around it is barren, even in the middle of lush surroundings, but it gets even creepier. Several people who attempted to hug the tree or mock the legends surrounding it were said to have gone missing shortly after. Locals also warn that if you stand too close or even think about harming the tree, something will come for you. So, is this just a myth, or is the Devil's Tree more than just wooden roots? Hard to say, but if you ever find yourself near it, don't touch it and don't disrespect it, just in case the whole thing is indeed true. A man was cleaning his pool when something fell from the sky and splashed into the water. Curious about it, he walked over to check it out. What he saw was not what he expected. In the pool was a huge hand or claw of an unknown creature. The thing was massive with long talon-like fingers, and they were still moving in the water. The man was so shaken he didn't even get too close. Instead, he grabbed his phone and started recording from a safe distance, filming this thing as it floated eerily in his pool. The claws looked thick, curved, and sharp, like they belonged to a predator we don't know about. Now here's the problem. He never pulled it out or took a close-up, so all we have is this footage and a whole lot of questions. We cannot tell if it's real or some kind of hoax, maybe a piece of a movie prop that somehow landed in his yard. He argues it's the real deal, but until someone examines it up close, we may never know. Some in the community event even threw sarcastic comments at him like this one right here. I mean, he does have a point, but hey, maybe he was just caught in the heat of the moment. Do I think it's fake? No, well, I can't say, but I'll say this, things don't just fall from the sky and start wiggling in your pool. Wouldn't you agree? Area 51 is one of the most secretive places on Earth. To this day, it's still a hot spot for alien conspiracy theories, but while some people believe something strange is going on out there, others think it's just a government base, nothing more. Well, a TikToker named Jerry Arizona decided he was gonna find out. So he packed his gear, grabbed his night vision camera and spotting scope and drove to a spot about a mile away from Area 51's border. And on his very first night, he caught something. A strange beam of light appeared on the ground. Hovering just above it was a triangular-shaped craft. Using his night vision setup, he zoomed in, and here's where it gets really weird. He captured the silhouettes of what looked like soldiers or figures standing in formation on the ground, all of them facing the craft above as if waiting or watching. Over the next few days, Jerry kept filming and kept seeing things. He spotted more strange aircraft flying in and out of the area. According to him, these crafts were lowered into an underground facility and then lifted back out hours later. Now, people online are split. Some say it's all fake and staged, but others say this is just more evidence that Area 51 is hiding something we're not meant to know. So is Jerry just chasing shadows, or did he really catch something the government doesn't want us to see? A man woke up one morning to find that someone had stolen a bag from his car. The car had been parked in his yard, which was open to the neighborhood, so he decided to check the footage from his security camera. And what he found left him completely stunned. It was late at night when, from across the street, the outdoor lights flicked on. Walking away from one of the houses was a dark, shadowy figure. It looked humanoid, but was partially see-through like an apparition. As this ghostly figure walked along the street, something else happened. A burglar wearing a hoodie appeared on camera. He casually walked into the man's yard, opened the front door of his car, took out a bag, and shut the door behind him. But then, the apparition noticed the burglar, paused and turned, and then began to chase the thief down the street. The man could not believe it. His bag was stolen, and somehow there was a ghost-like being trying to help him out or retrieve it. This is the last thing he expected to see, which is why he uploaded the footage. Opinions have been divided on this, with some calling it fake. To some, however, this is proof that not all spirit beings or ghosts are bad. Sounds like a stretch, but how else do we explain what we just saw with our eyes?
No, I didn't ask Julius what he thought. I want us believers to have this one. So what are your thoughts?
Take a good look at this. A man was sitting in his living room facing the kitchen when he saw this massive glowing orb floating silently in the middle of the kitchen. According to him, all the lights in his house had gone out right before the orb appeared. This wasn't your usual dust speck orb people capture on camera. This thing was huge, almost the size of a beach ball, and it just hovered there. Then in the next clip, the lights come back on, but the glowing ball is still there, floating calmly in the kitchen. Here's where it gets even creepier. When viewers took a closer look at the glass window behind the orb, they noticed something that the man hadn't. It was a pair of glowing eyes just outside the window, watching the orb and possibly watching him. Some people think the orb might be a witch's familiar, or maybe even an alien drone sent to explore or interact. We don't know what happened next, if the orb vanished or if he managed to get rid of it. Some say it's fake, but others believe it's the real deal. Which of these groups do you belong to?
Ain't no way. Ain't no way I'm looking at this. Look. It's in my kitchen. It is 12:45 at night. I'm sitting here on my couch. And this thing, look at it. It's moving around. I am tripping. What the flip? All right, so my lights are back on, and here comes this thing again. Look. It's a ball lightning or a ghost or something. I am tripping.
I will never stop saying this. Before you move in a new home, know its history. A woman had just settled into a new house. Her kids were spending the weekend at their grandparents', so she was alone enjoying the quiet. That was until she walked past the hallway leading to the kids' playroom. I noticed something was off. One of the kids' balls had been kicked out of the room, and standing right in the doorway was one of those old mechanical penguin toys waddling on its own. Out of instinct and fear, she pulled out her phone and walked into the room, and that's when things got worse. More toys began falling off the shelves. This blue toy that wasn't there before was now sitting on the floor playing a song. Then, from across the room, a tiny toy car began rolling by itself. Trying to stay calm, she bent down to pick up the blue toy. But as she stood up, she caught something in the reflection of the window that stopped her cold. A shadowy figure was standing right behind her. She whipped around, but no one was there. She was alone in that house. Or she thought she was. Now she's terrified. She hasn't been living there long, and after this encounter, she isn't sure what to do. I think she should move out as soon as possible. It's obvious that something else is in there, but maybe that's just scared little me speaking. What do you guys think? This isn't a scene from a sci-fi movie, it's real, and it's happening now. What you're looking at is Amazon's innovation in delivery tech, and yeah, it really looks like a mothership releasing white drones into the sky. Welcome to the future of Amazon delivery. Amazon has long been a pioneer when it comes to fast, efficient service. They were among the first to introduce drone technology to package delivery, but now they're taking it even further. This massive structure is called an airborne fulfillment center. It's a floating base in the sky that stores packages and deploys drones for faster delivery. It's designed to reduce transmit time by launching delivery drones from a location that's already closer to the customer, cutting out the time it takes to travel from ground-based warehouses. From the ground, it looks like something out of a futuristic movie, but the goal is simple: to get your order to your doorstep in record time. What do you think about this? When is the government finally gonna come clean about the whole UFO issue? This is something that's been bugging me recently, and for good reason. Back in 2023, information quietly surfaced that a UFO had actually crashed into U.S. military aircraft right in the middle of a routine training exercise, but instead of public disclosure, the incident was swept under the rug. The excuse was that the American public can't handle this kind of information. Meanwhile, sightings of strange craft continue to emerge, and nearly every time they're either denied, reclassified, or conveniently lost in review. There have even been close calls with commercial planes, incidents that are rarely, if ever, acknowledged. But during this Trump administration, insiders believe that Americans are now ready. That, in fact, the sooner the truth comes out, the better, because once we understand what's really in our skies, maybe we can start to make sense of the strange phenomenon happening all around us. Personally, this excites me, and I can't help but wonder what kind of things we're gonna hear. We always hear that it's smart to check the history of a house before buying it, as we said in the last clip. But these days, you might want to check everything, even the furniture. A family had been going through something strange. Their young daughter kept complaining about her room, saying she couldn't sleep at night because of weird things happening around her bed. At first, the parents brushed it off as nightmares, but when things didn't stop, they decided to call in a priest for help. When the priest arrived, he immediately sensed something was off, not with the room, but with the bed itself. With the family's permission, he took out a knife, made a deep cut into the mattress, and then asked the father to reach inside. What he pulled out left them completely stunned. It was a black wax figure with a thread sticking out like a candle. It was shaped like a human, but the wax was broken. Later, after some digging, they discovered what it really was: a voodoo object, possibly a cursed charm or a hex, meant to cause misfortune and spiritual unrest. Someone had placed it inside the mattress during manufacturing or before it was sold, and it stayed buried there completely unknown to the family until now. It's one thing to worry about buying haunted houses, but maybe now we need to start checking the beds too.
¿Me da permiso, verdad? En el nombre del Padre, Hijo y Espíritu Santo. Vean mis manos, yo no llevo nada, ¿verdad? No quiero que después vayan a decir, para que me meta abajo las manos.
A family in Arkansas heard strange siren-like sounds coming from their backyard, so they stepped outside to investigate, but what they found wasn't something they could explain easily. There, standing near the edge of the backyard, was a creature they'd never seen before. It looked like some strange mix between a meerkat and a wildcat, with a long body, a stiff posture, and most notably dark stripes running down its lower back and tail. What's strange is, this description closely resembles something most of us have only seen in old documentaries or extinct animal lists: the Tasmanian tiger, also known as the thylacine. But the thylacine was officially declared extinct decades ago. So what exactly is this? Could it be a survivor of an extinct species? Some locals think it may have been a rare wild dog or coyote with a genetic mutation, but others aren't so sure. What do you think? A couple living out in Florida shared something strange they saw on the water, and they can't believe it. It started when they noticed something swimming in the distance. At first, they thought it was just dolphins or manatees, maybe even a gator, but then whatever it was started thrashing violently in the water, and that's when they saw it. They described it as a serpent-like creature, easily 20 feet long, slithering just beneath the surface. It was dark and huge. The couple was so shaken they turned their boat around and sped out of there without looking back. So now the question is there some kind of sea monster lurking off the coast of Florida? Is this a sign to go cryptid hunting in Florida, or should we be alarmed? Not sure how to go about this, but maybe, just maybe, this is just another ocean mystery we're not ready to solve yet.
What the is that? Go. I don't know what that is, Dave. Just hold on.
Tell me this doesn't look like a baby dragon. Someone spotted this little creature perched on a tree branch and decided to take a closer look. Now, no, this one doesn't breathe fire or guard ancient treasures, but for a second, you might think it could. What you're looking at is called a Draco lizard, also known as the flying dragon. This tiny reptile has wing-like flaps of skin along its sides, which it spreads out to soar from tree to tree in the forests of Southeast Asia. It doesn't exactly fly, but it can glide impressively far, up to 30 feet in a single leap. It looks like a mystical creature with its miniature wings, sharp little features, and even a long, thin tail for steering mid-air. It might not be breathing fire, but it's living proof the dragons do walk amongst us, at least in some form. On the night of May the 24th, people in Southern California, specifically around Primo Beach, shared some striking footage online. The video quickly gained attention because what it captured was unusually clear. This is a glowing object streaking across the sky. Most viewers immediately assumed it was a meteor, and they weren't alone. Many witnesses reported seeing it descend across the horizon that same night. But that wasn't the end of it. Others claimed to have heard strange rumbling sounds and seen flashes lighting up the sky. Look at that. While some believe these events are all connected, possibly the result of a meteor breaking apart in the atmosphere, others aren't so sure. A few even argue that the lights and sounds weren't consistent with a typical meteor entry, suggesting it could be something else entirely. Some also speculate that it could be a UFO. If you were in California on May the 24th and witnessed anything unusual, drop your experience, because we'd love to hear what you saw.
Meteor. Well, that's a nuke. No, that's a meteor. Dude, I've never seen one go that long, ever. Wow, look at that. Oh, it is. Dude, look at how long it is. Hey, that's gonna be a pretty big meteor. Yeah, oh. Güey, no son misiles, mamón. Güey, Si se escucha como misiles, güey.
Some people are just too daring and so hungry for thrills, they don't even care if they're messing with things they shouldn't. A man decided to explore an abandoned and supposedly haunted house. He entered one of the upstairs rooms and, like many do, he challenged the spirit to show itself. There was a mirror attached to an old wardrobe, and just as he called it out, it was like something inside the mirror tried to lunge out. A loud cracking sound echoed in the room, and then something burst out of the mirror, shattering it. But the camera didn't capture what it was. Whatever jumped out moved too fast. The man ran from the house right after that, and now there's speculation that whatever was in that mirror followed him home. We don't know what it was, and we don't know if he's okay. All we know is that some mirrors hold more than just reflections. And this man might have messed with the wrong one. With how fast tech is growing, a lot of people are starting to question if we're losing our humanity in the process. But if you ask the scientists pushing this tech forward, they don't seem worried at all. Take a look at this. It might look like just a simple sticker, but it's actually a cutting-edge electronic patch, and it turns your body into a piece of living tech. Stick it on your hand, arm, or neck, and suddenly that body part becomes a smart device. It can scan your vitals, track your brain signals, read your heart rate, and even control drones remotely. Yeah, we're basically talking about cyborg-level tech, all from something that looks like a Band-Aid. It sounds cool, right? Superhuman reflexes, built-in health scanners, and real-time data from your body. But there's darker questions here too. At what point does helpful tech cross the line into something else? Because while we might be getting smarter and stronger, we also might be giving a little too much of ourselves to the machines, don't you think? A man was out running errands when he received a motion alert from the security camera in his home. He opened the feed on his phone, and what he saw left him completely stunned. There was a glowing object floating through the room. It wasn't just a light flare. This thing had mass. It moved slowly, almost intelligently across the space. And then a sound. As soon as the movement began, it triggered an alarm in the house, and what got people talking was the shadow. As the glowing object drifted past the camera's field of view, it cast a shadow across the floor, and it was long, but with proportions that didn't quite match anything human. And there was no one else in the house at the time. The man believes it might be an entity, something interdimensional, not bound by the rules of our reality. Skeptics say it's probably a bug, a light trick, or a camera error, but looking at the footage, it just feels like something else. What do you think it is? Now, what exactly are we looking at here? Someone shared this bizarre footage online, and honestly, no one seems to have a clue what it is. At first glance, it looks like some kind of creature, but it's wet and shapeless and almost impossible to tell where the head or body even begins or ends. Its form is constantly shifting. The edges of its body seem to move, ripple, and even regenerate in real time. This doesn't look like any animal we know. Now, some say this could be an AI-generated video with just random pixels and visual noise made to look like something eerie and alien. Let's be real, with the tools we've today, it's not that far-fetched. But others believe what we're seeing here could be an undiscovered species from the deepest corners of the ocean, or even a life form we've never documented before. Whether it's real, fake, or something in between, it's unsettling. But what do you think this thing is? Do you know pet funerals are a thing, and for many people, they're meaningful? Some keep it simple, like a quiet burial in the backyard, a box, a prayer, or maybe even a favorite toy tucked in beside their pet. Others go all out with caskets, floral arrangements, engraved headstones, and even full-on wakes and ceremonies just like for a human loved one. And to be fair, for many people, pets are family. They're there every day, offering comfort, companionship, and unconditional love. So when they pass, it hits hard. Some grieve just as deeply as they would for a close friend or relative. Now, to some, this might seem too much, but to others, it's just a natural way to say goodbye. So would you hold a funeral for your pet if it passed? Because honestly, in a world where we form real emotional bonds with our animals, maybe honoring them like that isn't so strange at all.
Both my dogs died when they were 15 years old, pretty much within 2 weeks apart of each other, so I cremated them, and then scattered their ashes all along my mother's rose bushes. I can see them every day still. That's pretty nice.
These days, sea creatures are dying out slowly. One of the major reasons is the destruction of coral reefs. To tackle this, Australia has come up with an interesting solution: 3D printed coral reefs. Yeah, you heard that right. They're creating artificial coral structures using ceramic blocks. Divers take these blocks down to the seabed and arrange them to mimic the natural coral reef environment, giving marine life a place to shelter, feed, and hopefully thrive. At first, it sounds like a great plan, doesn't it? But here's the catch. Some people are raising concerns about the materials being used. Even though ceramic is more ocean-friendly than plastic, some installations around the world have used plastic components, which adds to the pollution problem that's already harming ocean life. So are we helping, or are we just introducing more human-made waste into the sea? It's a clever idea, but is 3D printing coral the solution, or just another short-term fix with a long-term risk? Speaking of sea life, take a look at what a diver found in the ocean. It's a lizard-like creature swimming through the water with ease. Not very big, but unusual. And honestly, it's kind of uncomfortable to watch at first. Is this even a real creature? Well, yes, this is a Galapagos marine iguana. It's the only lizard in the world that has adapted to live and swim in the ocean. With its sleek body and long tail, it moves through the water effortlessly, grazing on algae from underwater rocks. Its skin is usually a dark black or gray, sometimes with patches of white, perfect for soaking up sunlight after diving into cold waters. So while it might look like some deep-sea cryptid, this thing is very real and just another strange wonder from the wild side of our planet. In Chernobyl, there's something known as the elephant's foot, and no, it's not an actual elephant's foot. What we're looking at in this footage is one of the most dangerous objects ever created by humans. The elephant's foot is a massive solidified lump of nuclear lava with a mix of molten uranium, graphite, sand, and reactor core materials formed during the explosion at Reactor 4 in 1986. When the nuclear reactor melted down, all that extreme heat caused the core to burn through layers of the plant, mixing with everything in its path. That deadly mixture eventually cooled and hardened into this strange glossy mass, gray, cracked, and horrifying to look at. But then standing near it for even a few minutes would mean certain death. The radiation it gave off was so intense that early photographs of it were used taking a mirror because no camera or person could survive being near it for long. Even now, decades later, the elephant's foot remains one of the most radioactive artifacts in the world. Take a look at these massive bowls carved into the earth. What do you think they are? If you guessed some kind of ancient UFO landing site or giant's doing, you'd be wrong. These are man-made stone basins, and they're built thousands of years ago at the sun temples in Egypt. Back in the day, they were crafted in honor of the sun god Ra. Historians believe these bowls were part of sacred rituals. Some think they held water or oils used in the ceremonies. Others believe they might have been aligned with solar patterns or were used to reflect sunlight during offerings. Whatever the case, the size and precision of these ancient structures show just how advanced and spiritual the ancient Egyptian builders were, connecting their architecture to the heavens in ways we're still trying to understand today. This wave doesn't look like your typical beach wave at all. It's strange. The way the water bubbles and boils, then rushes forward like it's alive, spreading across the surface like something out of a movie. But this isn't CGI, it's real. What you're witnessing is known as the Bono wave. The Bono wave is a tidal bore, a natural and rare phenomenon where the incoming tide pushes its way up a river or narrow channel with incredible force. Instead of waves breaking on the shore, the water charges inland, sometimes in multiple rolling waves that can travel miles upstream. This effect happens when a high tide meets a strong river current, usually during fuller new moons, creating the boiling turbulent look. It's most famously seen in places like Indonesia's Kampar River, where surfers ride the Bono wave for minutes at a time. Would you dare ride these waves? Do you know what mock meat is? A man went to the grocery store and spotted something odd in the freezer. It was meat labeled mock tender steak. Now, when we hear mock, we usually think fake, right? So does that mean that this is fake meat? Well, not exactly. It's good that more people are becoming aware of what they eat, but sometimes we need a little more information before jumping to conclusions. Mock tender steak actually comes from real beef, specifically the chuck area of the cow near the shoulder. It's a flavorful cut, but not the most tender, hence the name. It's called mock tender because its shape mimics the most expensive tenderloin, but the texture is firmer and chewier. So no, this isn't fake meat, it's just a clever name for a budget-friendly cut that tries to look fancy.
We got mock tender steaks. Yo, That is wild. Gotta keep your eyes out, people. They selling fake meat in the stores now. And you wouldn't even be able to tell. Look at that, side by side. You wouldn't be able to tell. Look at that, side by side. You wouldn't be able to tell.
What are we looking at here? It's a massive black spiral-shaped object resting on the sand. At first it looks incredibly heavy. With this kind of thing you'd expect to leave deep marks if it moved, and yet there are no footprints or signs around it that show anyone moved it recently. So how is it even possible? This strange spiral is an art piece called the Harlo. What makes it truly mysterious is the claim that it moves on its own every 24 hours. People say it shifts position without any human help. Some even speculate it moves by the power of the wind, but many aren't convinced. The surface of the spiral is marked with subtle grooves and patterns, as if it's slowly crawling or rotating, but no clear explanation exists. Locals and visitors alike are baffled. No one has ever been caught moving it, yet it never stays still for long. Have you ever seen something like this? And does anyone know the secret behind how the Harlo moves? This man and his friend were exploring an abandoned building when they decided to start filming. While recording, they caught something strange on camera that they hadn't noticed in the moment. The man was standing by a wall with a window when it happened. Suddenly, from the side of the frame, a long, pale hand-like shape reached out, almost touching him before it quickly vanished. When they reviewed the footage, they were shocked. The man himself was both chilled and excited. The hand had only 3 fingers, so it couldn't be human. Unsure of what they'd just seen, they took the video to a professional video analyst. The analyst examined it thoroughly and couldn't find any signs of editing or tampering and no clear source of the shape. So they all speculate that it could be an interdimensional entity or even a ghost, though how it managed to manifest so clearly on camera remains a mystery. This has reignited a fascinating question of whether there are unseen entities around us from another dimension, who occasionally slip through the cracks of reality just long enough to be caught on camera, like in this footage. This next footage was shared from Chile. One morning, a man woke up only to find a strange hovering object above his neighbor's house. It was transparent, shiny, and orb-like, slowly moving and rotating in the air, almost like it was floating in place but alive with energy. The footage itself is a bit shaky and blurry, making it hard to get a clear look at what exactly it is. It doesn't look like your typical glowing orb. There's something unusual about its shape and movement that makes it stand out. Some people speculate that this could be a form of plasma craft or even some kind of energy entity. Others think it might be something completely unknown to us. What do you think? Is this a natural phenomenon, a mysterious craft, or something else entirely? Europe is full of ancient castles, many of which still stand strong to this day. And given how long these buildings have been around, it's no surprise that ghost stories are still told about these places. Someone decided to visit one of these castles while on a trip and decided to film from the very top of the structure, just capturing the beautiful scenery around them. But they caught something they didn't expect. Let's zoom in for a better look. There, walking across the camera's view is a dark, faint figure. Watch closely, you can make out a pair of legs moving in the shape of a body. It almost seems to appear in one frame and fade out in the next. It's so faint you'd easily miss it. Some believe it's a lingering spirit from the past, still roaming the castle grounds, perhaps tied to the place by unfinished business or a tragic ending. What do you think? Have you ever flexed your muscles and noticed some weird shapes or bulges? Well, check this out. An old man stretched out his arm and flexed his muscles, only to reveal something unexpected. His bicep looked like an egg-shaped lump. It didn't look normal, and people immediately started guessing what it could be. Some were quick to say it might be a tumor, but hold on, it might not be that serious. There's a real condition called Popeye deformity. Sounds funny, but it's a medical term. What happens is if someone tears their bicep tendon, the muscle no longer stretches out the way it should. Instead, it kind of bunches up into a lump when flexed, making it look just like a little egg or ball under the skin. So is this man dealing with a tumor? Maybe, but based on how healthy and relaxed he looks, it's very possible he just tore a tendon at some point. That's why his muscles flex like that today. But it's always best to get these things checked out by a doctor just to be safe. Have you ever seen anything like this before? What do you think is happening here? Personally, I thought it was some voodoo magic, but after a little research, I found out that he was preparing puffed rice, an Indian delicacy. Basically, what he's doing is placing rice in hot sand, causing it to expand. Afterwards, the puffed rice is carefully collected and any residual sand is sifted out. This method is akin to the process of making popcorn. It's a traditional practice, especially in India, where it goes by different local names like churmuri or puri in certain areas. It's a harmless and widely used ingredient in various delightful recipes. I don't know about you, but all of a sudden it's something I want to try. If you thought that was weird, you might want to hold onto your feathers because we've got a bird breaking all the rules of avian physics. We know you've seen birds fly, but have you seen them do this? Now, this isn't your typical bird flight routine. No, sir. This bird's got moves that could leave David Blaine scratching his head. The feathered creature gracefully takes one step at a time so calmly, like it's a normal thing to do. It's as if there were invisible stairs in the sky. Is it a case of feathered magic, or could this be an elaborate hoax to make fun of us? While I want to believe something like this is possible, it clearly has to be edited. It can't be real, or can it? During a cave exploration in Mexico, things took an unsettling turn. This one is a tad disturbing. Yup, those are hundreds of human skeletons scattered around, and there's even a wall made of skulls. This alone is enough to send shivers down anyone's spine, but the story doesn't end there. Going further, our explorers reached a chamber lit by candles casting an otherworldly glow, and in there stood a peculiar altar. This room also had skeletons all over. Unless the ancients found a way to keep candles eternally lit, someone had to have been using the cave. But for what purpose? Could we be looking at the hideout of a secret cult, or perhaps something even more unsettling? Watching this alone gives me the heebie-jeebies, but what do you guys think? This eerie footage that features a mysterious scene with a humanoid that appears to be in a crouched position. As it slowly lifts its head, a pair of luminescent orbs stare back at us. The unsettling nature of this sighting takes a surreal turn as the creature undergoes a bizarre transformation, morphing into a smoky ethereal entity that glides effortlessly towards a nearby structure. To our amazement, the entity seamlessly reverts to its humanoid form upon reaching the destination. What could we be dealing with here? A skinwalker, a shapeshifter, or something entirely different? If you have been on the channel long enough, you know my assistant Aaron voted that it was a skinwalker, but you guys saw the video too. What do you think of it? You might want to hold on to your adventure hats because it seems the sewers have become the newest chapter in the book of strange sightings. The YouTube crew embarked on a sewer expedition, but ended up coming across a creature straight out of the Mesozoic era. The sewer-dwelling enigma zips by, revealing itself as a creature that wouldn't be out of place in a dinosaur documentary. Are we witnessing a secret society of urban dinosaurs, or did a time-traveling T-Rex take a wrong turn and end up in the wrong millennium? Although we may never have the answer to this, my money is on the first. What about you? Animals have their natural habitats, so it's sometimes curious to see them in places where they're not supposed to be. In this footage, for instance, taking in a sewer pipe, an unexpected creature was spotted nestled in the sewers: an alligator. Alligators are known to live in fresh water, swamps, marshes, or lakes, so how did it make their way into the sewer? At first glance, you might think this gator took a wrong turn at the swamp, but considering its size, it likely got swept into the sewers during some wild water escapade. Nature does have its quirky side, and those clouds in the sky are no exception. Take a gander at this peculiar patch of clouds, and it's no wonder people's imaginations start running wild with thoughts of aliens and paranormal activities. But fear not, my friends, because these are none other than lenticular clouds. Now, before you start picturing flying saucers and cloaked crafts, let me reassure you that lenticular clouds are considered a normal phenomenon. They may appear somewhat out of the ordinary, especially when they hang solo in the sky, but rest assured, it's just nature doing its thing. Once again, Julius was the one who told me this. If you're like Aaron and believe the sky gods or aliens are responsible, please feel free to believe that. Who knows, perhaps this lenticular cloud thingy is just a false rumor being spread by aliens.
Pretty sure I just saw it out there.
In this next footage, a man is woken up in the middle of the night by some strange noise coming from outside. As he comes out, he's faced with this creature in the woods.
Oh, whoa. Standing right there. Let me try and zoom in. Holy crap.
An alien-like creature with its head popping out from behind some bushes. The creature has a huge head and a long, skinny neck. As the creature noticed the man had spotted it, it slowly backed into the forest and vanished into the darkness.
Holy crap, I haven't seen that fucking close before.
In the footage, the man whispers that he's never seen one close up before, meaning these creatures are nothing new. He's been seeing some of these creatures around his property. The location is unknown, so there's not much investigation we can do about this sighting. What do you think of this encounter? Humans often think that they're very creative and have a better understanding of everything, but this footage might just humble you. Here we have an animal on a table. My question is, what animal do you think that is? I know someone will say it's an absurd question because it's obvious we're looking at a dog, but wait until the creature moves. See? I got you. That was a white cat. It just had some dark spots on its back that made it look like the head of a dog when lying down. I bet this cat could be lying down among dogs and they would not even notice. This is like the premium version of a body makeover. A chameleon could never. It's been a while since we've had this, but thought it might be the best time to have it returned. This is the bonus segment where you get to tell me what it is that we're dealing with. Once you believe you have an answer, just type it in the comments section and we'll send a shout out to whoever has the first right answer. So, what is this? If you know the answer, you know what to do. Start your answer with the word bonus so we can easily find it. Tell us what the creature is and why it looks the way it looks in the capture. All the best.
How you doing?
Not good.
What's going on?
Okay, Jeremiah, come out here.
According to a recent TikTok video posted by a user named Divine Pisces 444, she is convinced that a portal opened in front of her house for extraterrestrial beings. The user has shared multiple clips showing what she believes to be aliens visiting her home. Take a listen.
In 2021, and it's just been non-stop. 3 houses they arrived to. Ours was the first house, couple houses down, and then further down the road because we heard the doorbell ring. I don't have a doorbell. It was some type of signal they gave that they were there. You understand what I'm saying? This is my security camera, you guys, picking this shit up.
In the videos, she can be heard describing the strange and unexplainable occurrences happening in her house.
You watch my videos and you go, I don't see anything, because you don't know what they look like. They have come in so many shapes, sizes, forms, colors. Actual creatures have come in my house. Some stood as short as 2 feet, some as tall as 9 feet.
Her voice sounds shaken, and the fear and anxiety are quite evident in her tone. The video has sparked a wave of discussion and speculation on social media, with many people sharing their theories about the possible existence of aliens. What do you think of her encounter? Share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section.
The people that was up on that ship, they were like doing something at that tree, and when they wanted to communicate with me, that whole front of that tree, it would turn into their face, and they would talk to me telepathically.
Speaking of bizarre occurrences, someone allegedly captured this next clip at an unknown location. Enjoy. In the clip, we're introduced to this huge and strange object falling from the sky. The object is almost transparent, and there's people also gathering around to see it. The question on everyone's mind was, what is this? Some people mentioned that it was a weather balloon falling to the ground. Weather balloons are commonly used for atmospheric research and data collection, and it's not uncommon for them to be mistaken for unidentified objects when spotted from a distance. Another mentioned that this was a government project of deception, specifically the blue beam projection. While I can understand the weather balloon bit, I have questions about the blue beam projection. Of all the clips, why would the government share this, assuming we believe the blue beam projection theory? It doesn't add up, does it? Anyway, what do you personally think about the whole thing? In this footage, we can see 2 raccoons on the ground and a deer floating in the air. Seems the camera captured the image at the right time. What do you think was happening when this photo was taken? Could it be a secret woodland talent show where the deer is auditioning for a role in Santa's sleigh, aiming to be the next Rudolph? Or perhaps it's just a classic case of a levitating deer casually showcasing its supernatural powers to a pair of bewildered raccoons. Now, before we dive into the realms of conspiracy theories or animal shenanigans, let's have a little fun. Drop your wild and whimsical interpretations in the comments below. Gather round, O ye nature enthusiasts, because we've got a circus act straight from the woods. Some hikers in the woods came across this spectacle, a leaf floating in mid-air. I mean, we could attribute the levitation of the leaf to the wind, but there's no sign of the wind making us believe that there could be more to this. Some keen observers suspected that it could be a silkworm or spiderweb delicately holding up the leaf in a nearly invisible embrace. While that sounds logical, it's hard to prove or disprove because we literally can't see it. Nature, it seems, always has a trick or two up its sleeve. What's your take on this leafly ballet? Distinguishing between what's real and what's not has become increasingly challenging. I recently came across this fascinating footage that has got members of the paranormal community excited yet scared. In the clip, there is a massive pillar with huge tentacles wrapped around it. It's a sight to behold. However, before we start imagining the existence of colossal octopus monsters, it's worth considering the potential for digital manipulation. Thanks to the advancement in technology, it's gotten relatively easier to create realistic-looking creatures for your videos. This makes some members of our team think this might be nothing more than CGI. While there's a strong assertion, we can't really prove it, but you've seen it. What do you think? Is this merely a result of CGI, or is there something more at play? Please share your thoughts in the comments section.
Two. Нет. Бургер. Хорошо, стоп. Мясо.
Take a look at this man who appears to be over-friendly with a bear. He leans against the giant fur of the animal, and something is unsettling about the way he interacts with the bear. But that's not even the most concerning part. Watch as the man offers a burger to the bear, but the bear refuses to eat it. The man takes out the ingredients one by one, trying to entice the animal to eat. He shows the bear the patty, then the cheese, then the lettuce and tomato, but the bear still refused to eat. The man continues to pester the bear, urging it to eat. He tries to hand-feed the animal, but it still won't eat. Finally, after much pestering, the bear gets up and walks away from the man. As you watch this scene, you can't help but wonder why the bear refused to eat. Could it be that the bear smelled something unhealthy and inedible from the food? It's concerning to think about what we're putting into our stomachs when we eat these things. Either that or the bear might be vegan and the burger just wasn't meeting the mark.
Том, неправильно. Давай. Том.
Не хочет.
Не хочет. Нет.
If you think what you've seen so far has been wild and bizarre, prepare to be amazed by the mysteries of the ocean. While in the waters, this diver came across a pool of water in the ocean. I don't understand how this works, as it's messing with my brain. Is this some sort of optical illusion, or is there something more at play here? The ocean is one of the most mysterious places in the world that still has more of it yet to be thoroughly studied and researched. This could just well be a phenomenon we're not familiar with. Anyone know what's happening here? Please do explain in the comments section. In our next footage, the sky, which has been a canvas of endless intrigue, unveils yet another of mysterious crafts. Enjoy. Do you see it? Unusual crafts projecting beams of light into the sky. What's intriguing is that these lights aren't confined to the crafts. Instead, they extend across the entire visible expanse. Before hastily forming conclusions about this mesmerizing light display, let's carefully explore the myriad possibilities of what it might signify. There are some who think it's nothing more than an aero display from the aviation team. While it's nothing like we've ever seen, it's still a possibility. There are also some who think this could be dogfighting. That is, when planes are engaged in serial combat. If that's the case, then it's certainly dangerous for the people standing around and filming. There's not much context on the footage, so we can't tell what is really going on here. What do you think, though? Hold on to your fishing rods, folks, because the next catch is quite the head-scratcher. An angler is out on a fishing expedition, and what do they reel in? A fish. A peculiar-looking fish, to be specific. This thing's got teeth that would make your dentist jealous, and get this, lips. Yeah, you heard it right. Lips on a fish. The speculation runs rampant. The curtain is lifted, revealing this mysterious creature to be none other than the remarkable triggerfish. The triggerfish, part of the Ballistidae family, is well known for its distinctive appearance and behavior. Its unique set of teeth, strikingly similar to humans, immediately captures attention. Unlike the typical image of a fish, the triggerfish distinguishes itself with well-defined lips, a feature uncommonly seen in aquatic species. Despite its unusual dental arrangement and lips, the triggerfish is a fascinating and diverse species found in tropical and subtropical waters around the world. What would be your reaction when you're on a highway and are suddenly asked to park alongside other drivers? You all comply and a convoy goes by. Among them was a truck carrying something mysterious, a covered, unmistakably round object that bears an uncanny resemblance to a saucer. What else could it be to a convoy of cars that looked like police cars escorting it? Despite the obvious, some conspiracies have risen on what this could be. It could be a classified military or experimental aircraft or a piece of advanced technology. While I want to believe that, part of me knows the government isn't that stupid, so this has to be an elaborate prank. At least that's what I think. What about you? It seems that humans cannot have a peaceful moment of fun without something strange popping up, and I'm sure the owner of the footage could not agree more. A family went out into the woods to have some fun in the outdoors. While they were all letting loose and having fun, they spotted an uninvited guest in the woods staring at them. When the intruder noticed it had been found out, it began to crawl toward them aggressively. At first, they thought it was a wild animal, but when the creature began to move, to their horror, the creature looked unlike any creature they had ever seen. People who saw the footage say it could be a dogman. What are your thoughts? Next, we bring you something from the mysterious of the deep blue. So you've got this intriguing footage from the ocean. And what's the star of the show? A creature that looks like a snake gracefully slithering through the waters. Now, the ocean has a knack for throwing us curveballs, and this seems like one for the marine cryptid collection. As for what kind of sea monster this might be, it's a bit like playing detective with only a few puzzle pieces. Could it be a rare and exclusive sea serpent making an appearance, or perhaps a new species yet to be officially discovered showing off its underwater acrobatics? It's hard to say because I'm not a marine wildlife expert, but I bet that whatever this is, it's something I wouldn't want to be playing around with. Next, we have this peculiar tale from the shores of Vietnam. It begins with a strange creature washing up on the beach. It looks like dried tree roots, but these root-like appendages are mysteriously moving, almost like tentacles. Now, the person who discovered this curious being not only observed it, but decided to take it home. And what's even more fascinating, or perhaps a bit risky, is that they dared to touch it with their hand. The big question here is, what on earth is this thing? And more importantly, if you don't know what it is it really a good idea to bring it home? Let's hope it's not some undiscovered sea critter with harmful tendencies. Next, we take a look at this blood-red beach. Believe me when I say that the sand is red and the ocean is also red. What might seem like an eerie scene is often the result of natural phenomena. This striking red beach could be attributed to the presence of certain algae or microorganisms in the water. When these tiny inhabitants proliferate, they tint the ocean and even the sand with their pigments, casting a captivating and somewhat otherworldly spell on the entire coastal landscape. So while the beach might be momentarily draped in red, fear not. It's more likely a spectacle dance of nature's colors than an ominous omen. If aliens were among us, I believe they would be hiding among us or camouflaged somewhere like the skies, and this footage right here is why I'm so sure of this theory. Someone filmed a rather odd cloud floating rather closer to the Earth than the other clouds. It looked much darker than the other clouds and moved at a very fast pace. Upon zooming in, the cloud appears to be connected to some kind of machine. I'm pretty sure that this is some type of alien spy tech, but they don't seem to be doing a good job hiding it because the clouds look so uncloudy. Next, let's take a look at a wonder that happened on Troutbeck Lake, England. A family visited their holiday home, but it seems that vacation had a lot more installed for them than they had planned. There on the fields were hundreds of sheep frozen in place. They'd been stuck like that for hours, and the spectators started to get concerned. The shepherds in the area said it was no cause for alarm because this was nothing unusual. They said that this could have been the result of the temperature change. They'd given their answer, but this scene here makes me believe that there is something curious going on. Have you watched the movie Life? If so, you might recall the scene where they captured a gooey creature in space that later turned into a human-eating monster. Recently, footage has been circulating that is eerily similar. In the video, there's a plate on a table with a strange, thick, black, gooey substance. A hand holds a metal ring, and the liquid follows wherever the ring goes. It's unclear where this footage was taken or who recorded it, but this is something worth investigating. But wait, it gets even more intriguing. The hand tries to separate the goo with a credit card, but it effortlessly merges back together, as if it has a mind of its own. Now, some people have drawn comparisons to the infamous symbiotic alien known as Venom, and you can see why. The resemblance is uncanny. Others speculate that it could be graphene, a material known for its unique properties. One intriguing suggestion comes from a commenter who proposed that it might be a ferromagnetic fluid reacting to a magnet hidden beneath the table. This theory holds water, as ferromagnetic fluids are indeed capable of exhibiting fascinating behaviors when exposed to magnetic fields, such as following the movement of a magnet or rejoining when separated. As for us, we're no experts and can only speculate based on available evidence. Nonetheless, we'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think's going on here? A woman came across this dead creature in a jar covered in a slimy substance. It appears to be an alien-like miniature being in a fetal position. The creature was so tiny and fit in the palm of the woman who found it. The creature was gray with huge eyes and an oddly shaped head, features that have long been associated with extraterrestrial beings. Why would someone go through the trouble of capturing such a creature and preserving it in a jar? Is it a genuine extraterrestrial being, or perhaps a cleverly crafted hoax designed to stir up intrigue? Many in the paranormal community believe it's a fake, but what say you? The extraterrestrial saga continues, this time with a dash of mystery from the Philippines. In the sky, there appear to be some disc-like looking things in the sky, and there are a lot of them. If you're wondering what they are like we are, know that the possibilities are as diverse as a galactic buffet. On one hand, it could be a fleet of cosmic cruisers making a pit stop in the Philippine skies. On the other hand, there's the chance that it's a clever optical illusion playing tricks on our terrestrial minds from the confines of the office. What do you think, though? This next tale takes us deep into the heart of the unknown. While camping in the woods, a man began to hear strange noises and decided to investigate. He set up trail cameras in the area, hoping to capture whatever was making the noise. When he retrieved the Trailcam device, he was shocked at what he saw. There, roaming in the woods, was this strange creature. It's a humanoid creature with a face that almost looks like a skeleton. The posture of the creature was like the zombies from The Walking Dead. Some members of the paranormal community believe that this could be a skinwalker, while others suggested that it is a zombie. But it could also just be a person in a costume playing a prank. Given the limited visibility, we can only speculate. As to what this creature is, we cannot say for sure. Can you? With the advancement of technology, body modification techniques are also becoming more sophisticated. For those who have ever considered changing their eye color, it's now possible thanks to Flac Pro technique. Beatrice from Brazil underwent this procedure to change her eye color from a darker shade to a water green, and her results were remarkable. The Flac Pro procedure involves pigmentation of the cornea, which is a clear front surface of the eye. Skilled ophthalmologists perform the procedure by injecting a specialized pigment into the cornea stroma, the middle layer of the cornea. This pigment interacts with the existing iris color, resulting in a new hue. The procedure is performed with great care and precision, ensuring that the patient's eye health is not compromised. Beatrice underwent the procedure in Rome, Italy, where it was successfully performed. The change in eye color has been a popular trend in recent years, and as technology continues to advance, this trend is likely to continue. Would you try this? Over the years, there have been numerous reports of unidentified flying objects and sightings of extraterrestrial life, which have warranted intense scrutiny. However, this alleged UFO sighting shared online by renowned Mexican journalist and ufologist Jaime Maussan has captured people's attention worldwide. The clip shows a bright light ascending into the night sky and then disappearing into the clouds. However, even after it disappears into the clouds, you can still see lights shining above them, which has left many people wondering what it could be. Jaime Maussan is well known for his work in the field of ufology, having investigated and reported on several UFO sightings and alien encounters. This sighting has only added to the intrigue and mystery surrounding the topic. While some folks hang on to Maussan's every word, others are quick to dismiss him as a fake, questioning the authenticity of his content. Well, as with many things in the realm of UFOs and aliens, it's a mixed bag of belief and skepticism. Without more concrete evidence, it's tough to say for sure what's really going on up there in the skies. What do you make of this, real or fake? Humans have been on Earth for thousands of years, yet there are still some things that we cannot explain and have not figured out yet. Our next footage is one of those. A man observed a ball resembling a flame descending from the sky with a fiery tail trailing behind it. What could it possibly be? The potential explanations are as vast as the night sky. It might be a meteor performing its fiery swan song as it streaks through Earth's atmosphere. Alternatively, it could be a stray piece of space debris opting for a spectacular light displayed during its descent. Now, while scientists might have a field day speculating about its celestial origins, for the rest of us, it's a gentle reminder that, despite our technological prowess, the universe still has a few tricks up its sleeve that leaves us in a marvel. Before you watch the next clip, could you please hit the like button, subscribe, and even drop a comment if you haven't already? It goes a long way to make it possible to create more videos for you. Thank you for doing so. Moving back to the day's episode. Guess what the sea tossed our way this time? Brace yourself for this epic capture from Russia. These men stumbled upon a colossal crab that made them question life. I mean, we're talking about a crab so massive it could probably serve a seafood feast for the entire neighborhood. The crab is black with spikes all over its legs. Seeing this even on screen made my heart sink. Are we dealing with some mutant crab species, or are there mad scientists concocting supersized creatures in a secret underwater lab? While I want to believe it's one of these, there's also the probability of it not being real. I mean, how else do you explain the crab not attacking despite them being so clean? If you have a thing for strange sights in the sky, you'll enjoy this next one. Someone filmed what seems like thousands of lights falling from the sky. On second thought, they look like a downpour of meteors. Perhaps a meteor shower? This, at least, is Julius's hypothesis after seeing the clip. Meteor showers happen when Earth passes through debris left behind by a comet or asteroid. Although meteors can be visually impressive, they typically break apart high in the atmosphere. On the other hand, unusual lights in the sky have been reported as unidentified aerial phenomena. These could be natural phenomena, human-made objects, or phenomena not easily explained. What's your take on this celestial light show, a heavenly event playing out, or maybe just a touch of the mysterious in the night sky? In this bizarre turn of events, a man in Peru was detained for having an 800-year-old mummified corpse. The mummified body was in a fetal position, and at the time he was caught, he had put it in a food delivery bag, taking it to who knows where. When interviewed, the man casually mentions that he treats the mummy, whom he affectionately calls Juanita, as more of a spiritual companion. He goes on to claim that Juanita shares his bedroom and is, in fact, like a spiritual girlfriend. However, when experts decide to give Juanita a closer look, they make a surprising discovery. Juanita is actually a male. The man in question looks to be over 50, and you can't help but wonder, where in the world did he come across the 800-year-old Juanita? Did he inherit it, stumble upon it, or is there some other bizarre explanation lurking in the shadows of this strange story? If you wanted proof that the government knows about zombies and is experimenting with them, then this footage is the one for you.
That's another thing. You don't want wild animals eating this stuff.
No, it's seldom they turn to zombies because it's mostly a human strain, I guess. But
yeah, it's more of the zombies carrying it, or more of the animals carrying it to another person, biting a person, kind of like rabies, but...
If this is to be believed, and if this is true, then we certainly have a zombie apocalypse on our hands. What do you think about what the specialist said? Is this footage real, or is it just a couple of military men making fun of those of us who believe in zombies? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Well, buckle up for this tale of someone who seems to have a direct line with destiny, and Death himself might be scratching his head in confusion. While crossing the road to meet up with the man filming her, a car came crushing toward her, but stopped abruptly at her feet without causing any damage to her. It seems she's not aware that she just escaped death because she just walks on like nothing happened. On the other hand, let's take a look at the car. The car seems to have crushed into an invisible wall because the hood of the car was messed up. Did she have an angel protecting her she couldn't see, or was there something else at play? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. On that note, if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed to the channel yet, please do so now. It really helps us out a ton and gives us the opportunity to make these videos for you. So please do so and share this video with your friends and family. Thank you very much. Everyone loves to see a helicopter every once in a while, but when you see a fleet of helicopters gracefully cruising through the air, leaving behind fascinating trails of white fumes, you have questions. Are they on some top-secret mission, or is there a more down-to-earth explanation? The conspiracy theorists might be tempted to shout chemicals in the atmosphere, but let's not jump to conclusions just yet. Those white trails could just be the result of normal engine exhaust or contrails formed by the condensation of water vapor. Another possibility is that these helicopters could be on a mission heading somewhere specific, whether it's a military exercise, a rescue operation, or simply a routine flight, no one can say, but the fleet surely does have a destination in mind. Aaron believes I'm being naive with this and that there has to be something ominous in the works. While I don't see facts to make me come to that conclusion, there are others in my team who have bought into it. Having seen the whole thing yourself, what do you guys think? Next, we have this motorcycle rider cruising through the woods, just enjoying the ride. You know. Then out of nowhere, they spot this odd little kid right smack in the middle of the path. Now, the bizarre part, there's no sign of civilization for miles. So how on earth did this kid end up in the middle of nowhere? Hold on, because it gets even more interesting. Some folks are tossing around the idea that it might be those legendary little people from the woods. You know, the ones whispered about in local tales. What's your take on this unexpected encounter in the wilderness? Little people, or just a curious kid with a knack for wandering? Some things in life just cannot be explained. This woman was seen by a body of water pressing down on something. You'd never guess what it was unless you saw it for yourself. She was performing chest compressions on a fish. Yeah, you heard that right. CPR on a fish. I think she found the fish stranded on the sand, not far from the water's edge. Instead of just tossing the fish back into the sea, this woman decided to try and revive it using CPR. It's quite the sight to see someone giving life-saving compressions to a fish, but her intentions were undoubtedly pure. Who's going to tell her that fish don't exactly benefit from CPR? It's one of those moments where you can't help but admire her dedication and hope, even if the method is unconventional. There are a lot of creatures that stem from ancient mythology and even stories. One such creature is the griffin. The griffin is a four-legged creature with the body of a lion and the head of a bird. The individual who uploaded this footage believes this is a griffin, but this creature's body doesn't exactly look like a lion, but it does have four legs and a bird-like head. It looks somewhat real, but I'm tempted to lean more on the possibility of it being an AI creation. Even so, I can't help but wonder if there could be some truth to their existence. The griffin has always been a part of mythology for centuries, originating in ancient civilizations such as Mesopotamia, Greece, and Egypt. It was often depicted as a powerful and majestic creature, symbolizing strength and protection. That leaves me wondering, did someone actually see one, or was it imagined and passed down? Share your thoughts. This next footage is said to have been taken as far back as 1987 near a volcano. The clip was allegedly taken because of the strange creature you see in it. But what exactly is that creature? It looks like some sort of huge spider-like monster. Its lower body was made of many legs that looked like roots, but its upper body looked eerily human. You could see its head and shoulders. However, this creature moved in such an automated way it looked so out of place and unreal. Most of the members of the paranormal groups where it was shared called it fake. You've seen it for yourself. What do you think? Take a moment to examine this intriguing footage.
Oh, whoa. What is that?
It's like that Tic Tac from Rogan, bro.
What was that?
The thing that, like the UFO thing, like flying all over the place.
I mean, this looks like a UFO.
What we have here is a video of a strange craft that was captured in the night sky. This craft is quite unusual as it has three lights arranged in a triangular shape. It was seen simply floating in the air without any apparent propulsion or movement. But how did this craft get there? It all started with a glowing orb. The orb descended from the sky and remained stationary in the same spot. Then two more orbs appeared beneath it. This, my friends, is how the craft was formed. Could this be a UFO? It's certainly possible. The shape and behavior of the craft are unlike anything we've seen before. But then again, what do you think?
Oh, whoa. What is that?
It's like that Tic Tac from Rogan, bro.
What was that?
The thing that, like the UFO thing, like flying all over the place.
I mean, this looks like a UFO.
No, but it's like, well, yeah, I guess.
This footage was taken back in 2021 in Russia by some guys who were taking a walk after sundown. In the sky was this comet-looking light that seemed to be approaching the ground. As the comet-like object got closer, they heard a loud noise and then its shape changed dramatically. It now looked like a jellyfish, with the trail behind it becoming coiled and the head part expanding into what appeared to be thick white smoke of some sort. No one knows what this could have been, whether it was some sort of light display, an explosion, or even something alien-related remains a mystery. Now, on second thought, if that was a light display, people would have known about it because they would have been told. So if it's neither of these, could it have been a rocket launch where the changing shape and bright trails were caused by the stages of the rocket burning off? Seems plausible, but they would have known if there was a rocket launch nearby. Maybe it was just a meteor breaking up upon entering Earth's atmosphere, causing the loud noise and the spectacular light show. Julius is skeptical about this as well. I'm out of ideas. What do you think this is? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments. Moving on to an innovation in our own timeline, we turn our attention to Serbia, where liquid trees have become a wonder. Yes, you heard that right, liquid trees. In a remarkable step towards combating urban air pollution, Dr. Ivan Spasajek from Serbia has introduced an innovative solution known as the liquid tree. This groundbreaking project, launched in Belgrade, one of Serbia's most polluted cities, aims to tackle the pressing issues of air quality. The liquid tree is essentially a bioreactor that uses water and microalgae to mimic the natural process of photosynthesis. These microalgae absorb carbon dioxide and heavy metals from the air, effectively reducing pollution and producing oxygen. This liquid tree innovation offers more than just environmental benefits. Designed with urban functionality in mind, these installations feature benches, USB chargers, and nightlights, making them not only eco-friendly but also practical additions to public spaces. Just imagine walking through a bustling city and finding a spot where you can sit, charge your devices, and breathe in cleaner air. These features make the liquid trees a multifunctional asset, enhancing the quality of urban life while actively working to improve air quality. While this sounds futuristic and amazing, someone in the comments section asked a profound question. What's wrong with normal trees? I did some research and found that while traditional trees are invaluable for the environmental, offering shade, cooling temperatures, absorbing carbon dioxide, and releasing oxygen, there are scenarios where planting them is challenging. Urban areas, for example, often grapple with space limitations, poor soil quality, and other factors that hinder tree growth. Liquid trees are designed not to replace, but to complement normal trees. They serve as an additional tool to help tackle air pollution and climate change, especially in environments where traditional tree planting is impractical. Cool, huh? As technology advances, scientists and tech experts are constantly pushing the limits of what is possible. They're always searching for new ways to innovate and create positive change. Recently, a group of scientists in Denmark came up with an exciting new idea, making glow-in-the-dark trees, also known as bioluminescent trees. The idea behind these trees is to replace traditional street lights with them. This would not only reduce the cost of maintaining faulty lights, but also help lower greenhouse gas emissions from the use of fossil fuels to power lights in the evenings. Bioluminescent trees could potentially make the world a more beautiful and magical place, transforming the nighttime landscape into a glowing wonderland. However, not everyone is pleased with this idea. Some are concerned that the genetic modification of these trees could have negative effects on the environment and human life. After all, we rely on plants for oxygen, and any changes made to their genetic structure could have unforeseen consequences. While bioluminescent trees could be a significant step forward in terms of sustainability and beauty, it's important to consider the potential risks and weigh them against the potential benefits. What do you think? Could this be a groundbreaking innovation or a potential threat to human life and the environment? This is certainly an intriguing sight to behold. This appears to be a blob-like structure with distinct human-like features such as eyes, nose, and mouth. Once it was uploaded, it started attracting a lot of attention. What's even more fascinating is that one of the eyes seems to be moving, making it look alive. Some believe that this could be a human-made creation, possibly an experiment using cutting-edge technology. Others speculate that it might be a natural and undiscovered creature. Additionally, there's a chance it could be digitally manipulated using today's advanced CGI technology. However, without more information, it's impossible to say for sure what this curious phenomenon could be. Before I ask for your thoughts, take a look at this comment underneath the original post. Now, tell me, what are your thoughts on this? Have you ever seen a fish with wings? Just look at this marvelous creature. This is the bluefin gurnard, and it truly lives up to its name. The bluefin gurnard is a stunning fish, known for its vibrant blue pectoral fins that resemble wings. When it spreads them out, it looks like it could almost take flight. These fins aren't just for show, either. They're used to scare off predators and to navigate the sandy seafloor in search of food. It's like nature decided to mix a bit of the sea and sky in one amazing animal. What's even more interesting is how these fish move. They don't just swim like other fish, they use their wing-like fins to walk along the ocean floor. They extend these fins outward and use them to probe the sand, uncovering small crustaceans and other tasty morsels to eat. It's a bit like having a built-in metal detector, except instead of finding treasure, they find their dinner. Our next footage was taken in Berlin. There was this strange light in the sky with an odd shape and glow, almost as if it was emanating from a craft hidden behind the clouds or something invisible. The light had an eerie, otherworldly quality to it. Some believe this could be the case of those cloaked UFOs, hidden from our view but occasionally revealing themselves through such phenomenon. Others speculate that there might be a UFO behind the clouds, using some advanced technology to remain concealed. But what's your take on this mysterious light in the Berlin sky? Is it a cloaked UFO, an advanced military craft, or something else entirely? And here's an interesting and slightly strange scene. Someone leaves their Bluetooth speaker playing music, steps out for a bit, and upon returning discovers a lively parade of ants circling the speaker as the music plays on. It's like a tiny insect concert. But why the ant party? It could be a couple of things. Ants are known to be sensitive to vibrations, and the music coming out of the speaker might be like a full-blown ant rave. The vibrations could mimic the signals they use to communicate, making it irresistible for them to check out. Another possibility is that there's something on or around the speaker that piques their interest, maybe a residue or scent that has the ants intrigued. Either these or the ants are simply music lovers and they're enjoying one hell of a concert. It sounds unrealistic, but I want to believe that's exactly what's happening. This footage has been circulating the internet, and ever since its release, people have been questioning a lot of things. In the footage, we see some strange orbs fall out of the sky toward the Earth. As they get into the atmosphere, they burn, which is expected. There are weird fences in the area, so as the orbs go through them, you can see some sort of distortions around the orb. It's almost as though these things are piercing through our reality. Now, this has sparked a lot of theories. Some say that this could be some sort of groundbreaking technology that has not been released to the Earth yet. Others say they're UFOs or dimensional beings. Unfortunately, we've no way of confirming these things. But one thing is for sure, we're not alone in this universe. If you haven't already hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment so far, could you please do so now? It goes a long way to help us make more of these kinds of videos for you. Thank you so much. Now back to today's episode. Late one night while driving home, a man saw something on the side of the road that made his heart skip a beat. There, illuminated by his headlights, was a woman dressed in white. Her head was bowed, causing her long dark hair to fall like a curtain over her face. Her hands were clasped in front of her, adding to the eeriness of the scene. As he drove by, the woman did not move. She didn't even glance at the car passing by. It was as if she was frozen in time. The sight sent chills down his spine. Who or what was she? Was she some sort of entity, a ghostly apparition, or just a random woman standing by the roadside? But then why would anyone stand at the side of the road in the middle of the night, especially in such an unsettling manner? He kept glancing in his rearview mirror, half expecting her to suddenly appear closer or to start following his car, but she remained still, a solitary figure in the darkness. Who do you think she is? Still on hauntings, dolls are one of the things that can easily be possessed. In this footage, a man visits a doll shop filled with vintage dolls. These aren't brand new, they have an eerie, old-fashioned look to them. He brought along a heat vision camera to scan the whole place. When the camera was pointed at him and his friend, they both appeared with an orange color indicating heat and essentially life. As they scanned the dolls, none showed any signs of heat, except for one. This particular doll appeared to have the same orange heat signature as the living people in the room. Dolls are lifeless, so how is this possible? Possession. The idea of a possessed doll is not something new. Many stories and legends speak of dolls harboring spirits or entities. They're believed to be an easy vessel for spirits to inhabit due to their human-like appearance. The heat signature could indicate some form of energy or presence within the doll, which aligns with tales of possession. Is it possible that a spirit or entity has taken residence in this doll, giving it an inexplicable warmth, or is there a more mundane explanation we're overlooking? Talking of glowing orbs, this image was taken from a Trailcam set in someone's backyard. It was not an orb, but a glowing creature. It had notable arms and legs and a head. The owner, puzzled and eager for answers, shares the footage online, hoping for some clarity. But alas, the online community is just as baffled. Could this glowing creature be what the famous orbs grow into, like a butterfly out of a cocoon, or is there another explanation lurking in the shadows? What's your take on this luminous backyard enigma? A rare glimpse of some otherworldly critter, or maybe just a trick of the light? What are we looking at here?
Bro, look at this. It goes straight from dude, it goes straight down. What is that?
A man comes across this strange structure in the woods. It looks like a mountain, but it's not quite the broad and sprawling profile of a typical mountain. Instead, it appears more like a rock that shoots straight up into the heavens. Nature has a knack for crafting awe-inspiring structures over time. The big question is, what are we looking at here? Is it the result of ancient geological forces, an unusual rock formation, or perhaps even some human-made structure tucked away in the woods? What's your take on this mysterious, towering presence?
Gente, olha os pontos, olha o tanto de ponto que tá indo
Grava aquele
junto.
primeiro, olha, é uma forma geométrica, mano. Eu não sei o que é isso, mano. Olha, o que tá muito alto pra estar desse jeito.
Gente, vocês estão vendo isso?
Um monte de luzinhas, ó.
Olha isso, eu tô tentando deixar o mais nítido possível, brilhando e aqui em cima da gente.
Take a look at these lights. We see multiple blue orbs in the sky blinking in sync. They look so out of place, definitely not like the usual stars we see at night. Just observe how they move. They appear to form a pattern, blinking and shifting with the rhythm that's both mesmerizing and unsettling. Their synchronized blinking suggests a level of coordination that's not typical of natural phenomena or conventional aircraft. Could this be a display of advanced technology, perhaps a secret government experiment, or even something extraterrestrial? Share your thoughts.
Gente, olha os pontos, olha o tanto de ponto que tá indo juntos.
É uma forma geométrica, mano.
In this growing technological era, one of the most important things we need is a reliable power supplying electricity. But what if I told you there are natural ways to generate power without all the harmful chemicals?
Ça va, ok. Très bien. Tosha. Tia. Très bien. Ça, Tosha. Tia. Ok. Ripati majunya tu. Ok.
I'm not sure where this was taken, but judging by the people in it, it seems to be from Africa. In the clip, you can see a group of men gathered around. One of them is holding a shiny rock. They hand the rock over to another man who's holding an LED bulb, the kind with two metal prongs that you can connect to a battery to make it light up. He connects both sides of the bulb to this shiny rock, and incredibly it lights up. Is this natural electricity? The demonstration is truly fascinating. If this shiny rock can indeed generate power, it could be a game changer, offering a clean, sustainable source of energy. Imagine the possibilities if we could harness natural resources like this for our electricity needs, reducing our reliance on harmful chemicals and fossil fuels.
Ça va, ok. Très bien. Tosha. Tia. Très bien. Ça, Tosha. Tia.
Shit, they got every year, make and model on this bitch. Motherfucker done burnt out.
This footage was captured in San Francisco, where there had been a noticeable increase in thefts in the Bay Area recently. To ensure the safety of their possessions, people have been taking various measures to secure them, and this car owner has taken a rather innovative and extreme approach. The owner of this car has gone to great lengths to protect their vehicle by welding several security cameras onto it. The cameras are strategically placed all around the car to ensure complete coverage and to provide the owner with a 360-degree view of the surroundings. It's a whimsical approach, to be sure, but you can't deny the ingenuity behind it. With those cameras mounted all around, it's safe to say that anyone thinking of getting too close to this car will think twice, unless, of course, they had their whole body covered and they ripped the cameras off for some extra profit. It sounds funny, but I can see that happening.
Shit, they got every year, make and model on this bitch. Motherfucker done burnt out. Shit, they got that remote on there.
In this next footage, someone shared security footage online. In the footage, there is a ghostly figure walking through a room and then disappearing in a thin air. It's a very eerie sight to behold. Just imagine seeing something like this on your own camera. A commenter on the video suggested that this might be a cloaking device, which is quite an unusual explanation. Typically, most people would assume that the figure in the footage is a ghost or some other paranormal entity. But a cloaking device? Oh, that's something. Given our recent advancements in technology, that's not too wild a thought, but what do you think? A potential ghost or a test run for a cloaking device? Share your thoughts.
I'm scared.
In 2012, a woman went into the woods to capture the beautiful sunset. She was upset because, who wouldn't love to escape the busy world into nature, right? But after some time out there, she began to feel uneasy and uncomfortable. In the clip, you can hear her say, "I am scared." Not long after she said that out loud, a howl echoes through the forest. From the view of the camera, you see the snout of a wolf-like creature with its arms raised to the sky. The woman screams and runs out of there. I'm no wolf expert, but that's definitely not an ordinary wolf. I'm tempted to believe it's a werewolf since it appears to be humanoid. It appears to have arms it raises when it howls. Once this was uploaded to our platform, some were in awe while others found it laughable. They believe the creature has just been edited in, and they found her confession of being scared too convenient. It came just before the creature howled. To them, that's a sign of it being planned. The creature doesn't look very convincing to many in the community. They believe it's just a digital creation. Others also added that if the creature was real, she wouldn't have survived the encounter to upload the video. What do you guys think?
I'm scared.
Have you ever seen an angel? Well, the one who sent in the next clip believe he captured one. Take a look.
Where'd it go? Yeah.
Where is it?
What the fuck is that? Huh.
This clip was recorded in San Antonio, Texas during a family hangout. It was meant to be a day like every other day until they allegedly spotted a large humanoid creature with wings in the sky. Naturally, their first thought was that it was an angel. Looking at it, I get why they would think that, but there were some in the comments who thought it was a thunderbird. For those unfamiliar with the lore surrounding them, thunderbirds are legendary creatures found in the mythology of various indigenous cultures across North America. These powerful beings are often depicted as enormous birds with the ability to create thunder, lightning, and storms through the beating of their wings and the blinking of their eyes. There were also some who suspected gargoyles, but, you guys have seen the clip. What do you think? While walking on the field, a farmer was taken aback by a strange sight and started recording. Some of the haystacks on the field suddenly flew off the ground and fell back down at random intervals. The farmer, puzzled by this bizarre behavior, tried to find a logical explanation for it. At first he thought it might be the wind, but when you look closely at the footage, you'll notice that there is no sign of wind blowing at all. Also, the bundles of hay that were flying off the ground were not necessarily the ones that were closest to each other, which made the situation even more peculiar. Some people speculated that it could be due to demon possession or ghost activity because there seems to be no logical explanation for the phenomenon. What do you think, though? Could this be an actual real-life capture of ghost activity, or could this man and his group of friends be playing a fast one on us? Please share your thoughts. One of our subscribers recently shared an intriguing image with us. The picture shows a mysterious creature that was spotted on the shores of a water body. Take a look. The creature in question has a rather peculiar head with two eyes, a slightly open mouth, and tiny razor-sharp teeth. Its physical characteristics differ significantly from those of regular fish, as it has two arms extended with 4 claws. The creature's appearance has puzzled many, leading to various speculations. Some people suggest that this creature could be a Nephilim, an angelic being mentioned in ancient texts. Others believe that it could be a baby mermaid. a mythical creature that has been the subject of folklore for centuries. And then there's the possibility of extraterrestrial origins, with some speculating that it could be an alien life form exploring our earthly waters. While this idea may seem far-fetched to some, the vastness of the universe and the mysteries it holds leaves room for such speculation and imagination. That big question now is, which of these is the most accurate? I guess we'll never know, unless of course it comes out that this was all an elaborate hoax to mislead the masses.
What the hell is that? I've gotten closer to it, and I'm even more confused than I was like 20 feet back. What is that?
A woman was walking through a forest when she saw this on the ground. It was this weird thing. It looks round and has strange parts on it. The woman said that the area is known for having a lot of owls, but this thing looks nothing like an owl. I know I usually have answers to these strange creatures, but Jeremy, my animal plug, doesn't. He says he's never seen anything like this. The lady who recorded this even went closer to take a look and could still not identify what this thing could be. Are we looking at a creature we've never seen before? Oh, share your thoughts.
And I'm even more confused than I was like 20 feet back. What is that?
Tava quente, John. Não, tá gelado. Tá gelado? Tá gelado. Ué? Credo? Não, tá esquentando, cara. Tá esquentando. Pega pra você ver aí. Tá Caramba, mesmo? Tá quente mesmo. Tá mesmo, cara? Gente do céu. É pegando ela aqui. Caraca, meu. Que coisa, cara. Ela esquenta, cara. Vamos pôr, ó, põe aqui na... Ó. Ó, não sei se dá pra você ver, ó. Olha lá as bolinhas lá, ó. Ó, tá borbulhando. Ó. Não é possível, cara. Ficou bem vermelha, cara. Olha isso. Olha, ficou vermelha.
Two men were out in the woods in Brazil when they discovered something extraordinary. Using the help of a metal detector, they unearthed a tiny chest about the size of a hand. Intrigued, they opened it and found a red oval-shaped pearl inside. Curious about their find, the men picked up the pearl, but after holding it for a while, it began to get so hot that they had to drop it onto the muddy ground. When they placed the pearl back into the mini chest, something even stranger happened. It started to change color. What is this mysterious object that can heat up on its own and change color? This discovery is both fascinating and puzzling. It's not every day you find such an unusual artifact hidden in the woods. The fact that it heats up and changes color raises so many questions. Is it something that has to do with the natural properties of the object, or are we looking at a piece of lost technology?
Que coisa, cara. Ela esquenta, cara. Vamos pôr, ó, põe aqui na... Ó. Ó, não sei se dá pra você ver, ó. Olha lá as bolinhas lá, ó. Ó, tá borbulhando. Ó. Não é possível, cara. Ficou bem vermelha, cara. Olha isso. Olha, ficou vermelha.
This next one is definitely a tale straight from the eerie side of the woods. A property owner had noticed that there were a lot of raccoons in the area, so he set up a trail camera to capture some images of the night animals. But oh boy, the surprise that awaited when the footage was retrieved. Among the images, two particularly disturbing shots emerge. Nestled by a tree, a pair of glowing eyes pierce through the darkness. What creature could possess eyes so luminous? Some are quick to suggest a wild animal like a coyote, but there's a catch. This thing seems much larger than your typical four-legged critter. Could this be something like the mythical rake or a skinwalker lurking in the shadows? These creatures are known to have glowing eyes, and they fit the height description. Hold on to your hats because the weirdness doesn't stop there. A subscriber sent this one in. He came across a tree that was not like any other he'd ever seen. No siree, this tree has an opening that emits a strange red glow. As the camera zooms in, we can tell that there's a fire burning within the tree. Yeah, you heard it right, fire. But here's why it's strange. There's no smoke or signs of the tree burning away. The outer part of the tree appears totally fine. Even if you don't believe in the supernatural like Aaron does, you have to agree that this is very strange and there may be something happening here that's more than meets the eye. Just how in the world can a tree be on fire inside it without any usual signs of combustion? Situations like this can only be explained as paranormal. Don't you agree? Do you see that? It's raining in just the area with the water puddle, if we can even call it that. Every other place is dry with no water. We've shared clips on this channel where it was raining on one side and not on the other side before. We found logical explanations for those because they do happen. I mean, these phenomena were localized rains, but this one, well, I'm not exactly sure what we're dealing with. Maybe it's still localized rain, but it's a bit smaller than what we're used to seeing. I'm afraid to ask Julius because of the way he looks at me when I ask him these questions, almost as though I ought to know the answers. It's intimidating. Aaron, our in-house conspiracy theorist, however, thinks this is fake, or we've got a paranormal situation on our hands. You know, aliens, witches, and the like. Not sure what to make of that, but let's hear your thoughts. Next up, we've got the famed Headless Horseman. Sounds crazy, right? Well, not for the one who recorded this clip. He's convinced that the being or individual he passed by on his way home is actually the Headless Horseman. The clip doesn't give us much to work with, but for those who don't know him, the Headless Horseman is a legendary figure best known from Washington Irving's The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. This eerie character is said to be the ghost of a Hessian soldier who lost his head to a cannonball during the American Revolutionary War. He roams the woods of Sleepy Hollow, often depicted riding a black horse and carrying a jack-o'-lantern or flaming pumpkin as a substitute for his severed head. The horseman is most infamous for haunting Ichabod Crane, a superstitious schoolteacher in a terrifying chase through the night. As a symbol of folklore, he represents the blending of fear, mystery, and the supernatural in American Gothic storytelling. While this guy does seem to have everything, the iconic lantern is missing. Still, what do you guys make of the clip? Is this a vivid explanation for it? Let's hear your thoughts. We've all heard those wild rumors about celebrities being cloned, but what if I told you some stars may actually hire stand-ins to take their place? Sure, we know actors have stunt doubles, but what about singers? Take this recent Usher concert, for example. Fans noticed something strange about the performance. Before the concert, it was reported that Usher had injured his neck and a few shows were even cancelled. But when he finally hits the stage, fans couldn't believe but noticed that something was off. Just look at this guy. He doesn't look much like the Usher we all know. I mean, a clone would have been a closer match. Even the voice didn't seem right. Could it be possible that Usher hired someone else to perform as him? If anyone has more info on what was at that concert, feel free to drop your thoughts in the comments section.
Yeah!
In this next footage, a strange craft was spotted in the sky, moving at an odd, mesmerizing way. It had this unusual glow or light in its center, almost resembling a missile or beam spinning in circles as it moved. The footage is quite blurry, making it hard to identify exactly what the object could be, but its movements and glowing center left many baffled. What I'm most curious about is the light that is spinning. What is that about? Aaron confidentially claimed it was a UFO, pointing to the erratic behavior and strange circling light as evidence of something extraterrestrial. Do you see anything wrong with this photograph? No? Well, take a second look. Do you see it now? There's a creepy young girl in the image with the two ladies. Just in case you were thinking she was part of the photograph, she is not. This image was taken by two friends as a selfie one evening. It's as if with these images, they took the pictures and forgot about it till they were going through their photographs later and saw it. There was actually someone in the driver's side mirror when there was actually no one there when they took the image. It should have been dark, according to them, but here we are with the image of a young girl or at least something with a shrunken head. Some who saw the image told them it was a witch, while others were skeptical of the whole thing. Personally, I feel it could be either, but what do you also think? If you have a pet, you should be familiar with scenes like this. If you didn't already figure it out, the man's dog, which I'm pretty sure is a golden retriever, brought him a hornet's nest as a present. Judging from how fast he ran, it's safe to say the hornets were not pleased with the change in their estate. The real estate market is volatile right now, and like many people, they prefer stability. What would you do if your dog pulled off a stunt like this? If you don't believe in skinwalkers, then this first clip is just for you. The man, or rather man-looking being you just saw, was recorded by a Trailcam that had been set up in the region of Mount Shasta. A researcher had been informed of strange occurrences in the region, and he set up many cameras in the region wanting to capture the phenomenon on tape. One day, he was visiting the sites where he had set up his cameras and discovered one had been removed. After searching for it, he found it a great distance from where he had originally set it up. This excited him, and he went home to see what the camera had recorded. What you see on your screen is what he found on the Trailcam after tinkering with it. He showed it to the locals, and they told him it had to be a skinwalker. Wanting external validation, he uploaded it onto one of our paranormal groups for their opinions, and many thought the same. There were a few who expressed skepticism about the authenticity of the clip, but the number was not significant. You've seen the clip too. What do you make of it? This next image was shared by a hiker who claims they captured Bigfoot deep in the woods. Take a good look at it. At first glance, you might think that's Bigfoot mid-stride, but when you study the photograph, something just feels off. The head of the creature doesn't seem fully defined. One of its arms, the one in front, looks small and stubby, while the one in the back appears longer and strangely shaped. Even the body itself just looks out of place. To be honest, even some people in the paranormal community are skeptical about this one. Many believe the image might be AI-generated, especially given the weird anatomy and inconsistent shadows. So did someone try to fake a Bigfoot sighting using AI, or could this be a glitched photograph of something real but strange? You decide. And with that, we end today's episode. Thank you for staying with us. Before you go, are there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have.
I've been Steve. This has been Classified Captures. Share this with someone you love, and I'll see you in the next one.